What's going on, guys? It's the Filthy Casual, back with another Diablo 3 video. Today we're on the PTR and I've come up with a build using the recently buffed Necro items, so I'm excited to show it, so I thought I'd share, even though it isn't finished and it definitely needs some optimization, but hopefully from what I'm going to show you, you're going to be able to see the power, you're going to be able to see the potential in the build. And it's something a bit different. It's a generator, Death Nova build, so yeah, it's quite exciting. Thanks for everybody who subscribed recently. Again, I've had a lot of comments recently, a lot of positivity. Everybody who's got in touch, thank you so much, really does mean the world. Subscribe if you want to see some more videos, really help me out. I'm going to set a like goal for today's video of 4 likes, because I think this is I mean, Death Nova's been around, but this is interesting because it uses the new items. So, alright, let's get into it. So just in case you don't know, the season theme for next season is going to be the Season of Nightmares. And what this means is you're going to get this Legacy of Nightmares buff for free. So it's going to be like you've got these 2 rings equipped with the bonus activated. So what they do is they give you a 750% bonus damage per ancient item equipped. So you've got 13 slots, you can have a maximum multiplier of 9,750. You also get some damage reduction, so you get 4% damage reduction per ancient item. So again, 13 slots, that's a 52% DR, so that's pretty strong. So you're going to get that completely for free. And for Necro, this is great because what it does is it opens up ring slots for us, which normally speaking it would be closed with the LON set. So if we have a little look at the recently buffed Blood Tide blade, basically what this does is Death Nova will deal 400% increased damage for every enemy within 25 yards. Now you'll note on the skill bar we don't have it, and that is because we're going to use Siphoned Blood. And when we look at the Iron Rose, what this does now that this has been changed is it says that attacking with Siphoned Blood has a 100% chance to cast a free Blood Nova. So when you cast Siphoned Blood on an enemy, it will spawn a Blood Nova for you. So if we just swap this over to Blood Nova, just so I can show you what it does. There we go. So 450% weapon damage to every enemy within 25 yards. Okay, now if you go back and look at the Blood Tide blade, this is for every enemy within 25 yards. So if you can hit them with the Nova, then they're in 25 yards, and you can fit an awful lot of enemies in 25 yards. So if you've just got one enemy, you've got a 400% multiplier. If you've got 10, you've got a 4,000% multiplier. And if you can squeeze 20 little buggers within 25 yards, 8,000. That's absolutely huge. When you run that through the Legacy of Nightmares multiplier and all the other multipliers we can have, this is an absolute AoE powerhouse. Density is your friend, you will absolutely melt it. Now you will also be able to kill Rift Guardian and Juggernaut, so we'll be offsetting that with a few bits and bobs, but I suppose probably if we go through the rest of the gear, and we'll explain the skills sort of as we go. Now the next most important item probably is going to be the Scythe of the Cycle, because this says that your secondary skills will deal 353% additional damage whilst bone armor is active, but it will reduce the bone armor duration by 4 seconds. So we've got to have bone armor on the bar, so we're going for dislocation because we are wanting to proc our Crispin Sentence, which I've got in a cube. So dislocation being a stun will proc that. So the Nova, just go back to it, is on the secondary skills, so therefore we get this multiplier from the Scythe of the Cycle, so that's pretty good. Now you can't spam it too much. You can spam it an awful lot, but you can't spam it too much because it does reduce the bone armor duration. Now this is on a 10-second cooldown, so my goal really at some point is to get my cooldown high enough so that you'll be able to spam the Siphon Blood as much as possible, and you'll just be able to pop your bone armor again. But at the moment I haven't found all the pieces. I don't have cooldown on my gloves, on my shoulders, because I just haven't found anything better really at the moment. And I shouldn't really be wearing these Inarius boots. So cooldown I can definitely get up probably to another to 40% maybe, 45, something like that, and that would be really, really good. But yeah, so the Death Nova is buffed by the Scythe of the Cycle. We're also going to buff it by the Crispins, so we're looking for stuns, we're looking for freeze, we're looking for any kind of CC we can get applied, and that will probably explain a lot of the other items. Now we're also going to have a convention of elements, so this, when it rolls around to physical, because that's how the Blood Nova procs is physical, you're going to get it up to 200% extra damage, so that's really nice as well. So looking at the rest of the gear, we'll go over the Crispin procs. So we've gone for the Frostburns. Again, you can see this gear is crap. I'm missing intelligence because it's obviously from another seasonal character. Now the roll for the percentage doesn't matter. What you're after here is the 50% chance of cold skills to freeze enemies. So if you hit with a cold skill, 50-50, you're going to freeze them, and then you're going to get your triple bonus. So that's why on Siphon Blood we've gone for the Suppress rune, because it's cold. So not only do you get 75% slow on them, which would proc the first part of Crispin sentence, the freeze, or 50-50 chance of a freeze every time you hit with this, again will give you the triple Crispin proc, so that's really nice. We're also going to be taking Command Golem, and we're going to go for Ice Golem. This will freeze enemies, so again it procs the triple Crispins, so that's really nice. And Bone Armor Dislocation we touched on as well, that's a stun, so that will also proc the triple Crispins. So for those three skills you've got quite a lot of Crispin uptime, but we're also going to be working in a Blind Faith Helm. Again, you can see the only character I've previously played is Monk, so a lot of this gear is from a Monk. So you know, definite gear improvements. But the important thing about Blind Faith is that it says you've got a up to 40% chance on blind to hit on the secondary. Now you can't cube this, unfortunately, that will disappear, so you have to wear it. But if you think about it, we've got a 50-50 chance of freezing with the Siphon Blood Cold. You've got up to 40% chance to blind them, which counts for a triple Crispin proc as well. You've got your Golem, which will definitely do it, and you've got your Bone Armor Dislocation will definitely do it. So you've got quite a lot of ways to actually get the enemy you know, suffering from the triple Crispins, so that's really, really nice. Now obviously Juggernaut is a bit of a problem, so we're going to offset that with a few bits and bobs, and sort of how you play a Juggernaut in particular, and the same for the Rift Guardian. But the rest of the items pretty much go to convenience and toughness. So we're going to take an Aquila Cuirass. You've got no spenders at all, because the Nova is free, your essence will never go down, so you will always get 50% damage reduction from that. For the amulet, I've gone for the Wisdom of Cologne just to beef up the bone armor stacks, so that will give you further damage reduction. So normally you get 10 stacks of bone armor, so 30% damage reduction, because it will give you 3% per stack. But if you wear the Wisdom of Cologne, that maximum stacks goes up to 15, so you get a 45% damage reduction, so an extra 15%. So this is by no means essential, you definitely can swap this out. You know, it comes with the default attack speed roll, which is a bit crap. So you know, you can craft yourself a Hellfire, make the build a little easy to put together, and I'll give you a 5th passive for that when you go. But you know, anything with socket and double crit on it will be absolutely fine. You know, so you don't necessarily need to take this, but it does that little bit extra of toughness. Still on toughness, Dainty's Binding. This will give you a 50% damage reduction when you have a cursed enemy nearby. So on the skills, we're going to be taking Aura of Frailty. So long as there is an enemy near you, there will be a cursed enemy near you, and you again will get another 50% DR. And then also for the damage reduction, we're taking the Golem Skin Breaches. So these are really nice because you get your 30% damage reduction whilst your Golem is alive, so that's really cool. But it also brings the cooldown, or it reduces the cooldown significantly on Command Golem. So that means that we can plop this guy down and freeze everything, you know, quite a lot, because 22 seconds off a 45-second cooldown is quite a lot. And we're also going to be bringing it down with Commander of the Risen Dead. And as I say, once I juice up my cooldown, this guy will be available quite a lot of the time, and that's really, really handy for me. So that's all the damage reduction. Nemesis Braces, you can see these are non-ancient, so I've only got 12 ancients. So you know, I've definitely got another 10% damage to pick up here, roughly, or 8% damage, or whatever it works out to be. this is just to speed progression. You can swap these out. I probably wouldn't bother because you're so tough and tanky that there's not really much need to stack any kind of like APDs or anything like that. You know, you may as well just go for this for the progression. It's not an elite hunter builder because obviously you do absolutely melt trash, but elites obviously are kind of handy to get. And normally if you spawn a pack of 3 or 4 or 5, they all go through that blood tithe blade multiplier. So if you spawn 5 enemies, 5 times 400%, you know, chances are you will be able to blast through them pretty quick. Shoulders is completely open. I've been playing the PTR for 2 or 3 hours. I've opened absolutely stacks of bags, and these are still the best shoulders I've got, which is really annoying because they're crap. Because I want cooldown on them, and I don't want sweeping wind damage. Again, it's a monk stat, so that's rubbish. Now, I've got the Stewart's Greaves because our final skill that we're taking, or second to final skill, is Blood Rush with potency. So when we Blood Rush, we get 100% movement speed. So what I want to do eventually is have the Stewart's Greaves on, because that will free up this armor slot. And there I will probably look to take Leoric's Crown to juice up the cooldown. You could potentially take the Illusory Boots, so you can walk through enemies unhindered. That would be quite nice. You can pretty much put whatever you want. You could go for a String of Ears for a bit more damage reduction, or you probably won't need it. And another way what you could do is, if you've got a Witch Doctor, you can get yourself a pair of where are they? Swampland Raiders. Unfortunately mine haven't rolled as ancient, so once I get my ancient Stewart's Greaves, I might just swap these on, because you can get 20% physical damage on them, so that's pretty nice. So if they were ancient, that would be a 20% damage boost, and you'd put the Golem Skin Breaches in the cube. But it is pretty open. Another one was Echian Arm Guards you could put in here, and that again would improve your move speed. You could go for the Cord of the Sherma, which would give you another blind for proccing Crispins. So you know, there's quite a lot really. I haven't really thought of anything to go in here once I move these out onto my character. So if anyone's got any suggestions, whack it in the comments. That'd be really handy. So the last skill that we've got is Devour Cannibalize. We're going to numlock this. The essence generation doesn't matter, we don't have the spender, but 3% life per corpse consumed is pretty nice, but really it's here from move speed proc, which is going to be fueled by death. So as you eviscerate enemies with your Blood Nova, you consume corpses and you get 30% move speed off this. So move speed wise, you've got your 25% Paragon, 30% from consuming corpses, 100% from your Stewart's Greaves, and you know, you could add more. You could maybe swap one of your legendary gems out for a Wreath of Lightning, but I've currently gone for Trapped. That's essential, it's just a flat damage increase. The other two, I think Stricken's probably required, because it gives you that 25% damage against the Rift boss, and given how quickly you can smash out these Novas, the Stricken does stack fairly effectively. Again, as you can see, I haven't bothered ranking one up. It's 25, a lot of room for that to grow. And then the other one that I've gone for is for Gogok, and that's just simply for the cooldown at the moment. So again, you know, maybe you could take that off for a Bane of the Powerful. That probably offset some of the Juggernaut problems, because you get a damage increase against elites. So I think whilst I'm hovering over this, Unity, that's for extra toughness. I think I left that out when I was going through it. So your follower needs one of these tokens that means that they can't die, and they also have to have a Unity equipped. So if you think about it, toughness wise, it's not surprising that this is absolutely tough as nails, because you've got your 52% from the Wailing Host, 50% for the Aquila, 50% for the Dainty's Binding, 50% for your Unity, nearly 50% for your Wisdom of Clon, and 30% for your Golem Skin Breaches. You are absolutely tanky as hell, and that's another reason why the single target doesn't really come into play too much, because you're so tough you can take an awful lot of damage. You could also put an Esoteric here instead of Swiftness. Again, that would also improve you a lot. So you know, it is pretty tough builds. also in the passives you've got standalone, so we've got 1 minion, so that's going to give us a 90% armor increase whenever we blood rush. Because we've taken potency, we're getting double armor for 2 seconds. So again, the more you can get your cooldown to about 40%, you can have more uptime on that. So again, you can have like absolutely ridiculous toughness. You know, I mean, it's already at 180 million, and it goes up to 250, and that's without your bone armor stack. So you know, this is a very hardcore, safe, very hardcore friendly build, and it's fun to play, which is nice. So let's just see, have we done everything? I think we've covered all the gear, I think we've covered the weapons offhand, covered all the skills, covered the passives, and covered some swaps. Now, unfortunately, I can't really work out a way of getting any single target DPS in this. Now, the shoulders is open, so in theory, Corpse Whisper Pauldrons could go here, but I can't really think of a way of getting corpses without putting Land of the Dead on. And if I put Land of the Dead and Corpse Lance on, I'm going to have to take 2 skills off. So, you know, you maybe lose the move speed from Devour, and then lose a 50 or 30% reduction for the Golem. So that's a potential swap. You know, again, there might be a different build we'll make, maybe with Nair's Black Death and running the Corpse Whisper Pauldrons through Land of the Dead and through some poison skills. But for the moment, I quite like this setup. I like the Golem freezing stuff. I like the fact that the Dainties binding just applies the curse. So yeah, so I do like it. So I'll roll some footage of me doing a 75. It's really, really easy. Sheet damage of 1 million. You know, you can easily get that up by a factor of 3 or 4 in a season. You know, there's no augments on any of this. You know, rolls wise, the COE is crap. It should be nearer 200. It's got vitality on it rather than crit hit chance. My Scythe of the Cycle is okay, but the secondary roll's not great. It should be closer to 400. You know, no intelligence on my helm, missing a stat on my shoulders. I've got vitality as my main stat on my frostburns. You know, so again, that really, you know, that could be int, crit and cooldown. That would be much better. So you know, there's the gears. Some of the gear pieces are all right, but you know, again, there's lots of room here for this to improve, and you'll see just how easy a 75 is. So yeah, let's do it. Let's get into it, and off we go. So you need to numlock your Devour, and then you just need to make sure that your bone armor is up, basically. Now you're going to save your Golem for elites like that to just melt them. So, you know, I mean, obviously I'm sure I could probably do this at a higher level now, but I just thought, well, we'll stick it out at 75 and see where we go. But yeah, Charling Pylon, awesome. Now, one thing is the build is a bit spammy because obviously you're clicking your Death Nova so much. But the mechanic's weird. I don't know if they're going to change it, because you see, like I'm clicking away now and it's not reducing bone armor at all. But if I just absolutely spam it, it starts going down quite a lot, and it's like the game's trying to catch up with it almost, and it can just drop off. So it is a bit weird. So I don't know. But yeah, you've got tons of move speed from your Stuart's Greaves. That's really nice. You know, your Golem comes back really quick, so provided it's not a Juggernaut, you know, you'll be able to smash it. You really want to get some density. That's, you know, what you want to do. So for Juggernauts, maybe we'll find one. I'll show you what to do when you get to those. But basically, you're just trying to kite them into trash. That's way number 1. Way number 2 is if you did have a Bane of the Powerful, you'd be that 20% stronger. I mean, look at that. These guys are just absolutely melting. And you know, your stricken stacks will stack up. And what you also want to do if you come across Juggernauts, which we haven't found any yet because we're just annihilating these peeps, is you want to wait until you get to your physical rotation to dump your damage. No, because this guy's not Juggernaut either. Very odd situation. I'm running around hoping I run into a Juggernaut. But yeah, you just have to try and like play a little smarter. I mean, at the end of the day, this build's very quick. It does so much damage. you can easily just skip juggernauts if you want. You know, if you can't really be bothered. Now, if your bone armor does drop off, it's not the end of the world. You are really tough. You're not reliant on that 45% damage reduction. And there's an argument of swapping it to Harvest of Anguish as well, just because, again, more move speed. You know, like once you get this fully augmented up, this will be really quick. It'll be a lot of fun. I'm just gonna get one. Yeah, so I think this guy's a juggernaut, is he? Yeah, I mean the conduct was going to kill him anyway, so that's a bit of a shame. But yeah, what I would have done there is I would have kited him maybe into some of this trash and try and find a nice juicy bit here where there's 5 or 6 enemies, and then wait until my convention here rolls around onto physical, and then press it. I mean, you know, as I say, you're so tanky, you can stop. I can wave the mouse around. This is a fun build. I quite enjoy it. It's probably similar, I guess, to Corpse Mancer. You know, maybe a Blood Nova build, but it's way more powerful. Right, so Rift Guardian obviously is a bit of a problem because he's not going to have the CC, so we're just going to wait till we get to physical, and then you're just going to spam, and then once you get off physical, make sure you refresh your bone armor, and then I'm probably just going to wait again until we get to physical. Blam 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 blam. Reset the bone armor, and then frailty will kill him at 15%. So obviously I'm stopping to talk there. You know, so you can burn that guy down a lot quicker, particularly if you had a Bane of the Stricken that wasn't. Sorry, I was turning Numlock off. If you had a Bane of the Stricken that wasn't crappy and level 25, then you'd be able to do that a lot quicker. You know, 71 is a crap gem level now. You'll be able to get your gems up to like 100, 120 next season. You'll be able to augment this out with another 100 augments in every slot probably. So yeah, this feels really powerful. Sheet damage of 1,000,000, absolutely demolishing 75. Loads of room to grow. One more ancient, and I'm going to have another 10% damage. Bane of the Powerful. There's lots of things in here that I think give this room to grow. It's a fun build, so give it a try. So guys, I hope you've liked the video. It's my first live commentary where I've actually done a build whilst talking about it, so sorry if it's a bit long, sorry if it's not what you want, but you know, any feedback would be appreciated. I'm quite new at this still. So yeah, that's it. Thanks very much for watching. Have a great day. I hope you're enjoying the PTR. Let me know, are you excited for this build? Do you think you'll give it a go? I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.